Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am apologizing in advance for the quality of this video. I am filming this at nighttime, trying to be a little quiet because everyone's asleep. It's been a little over a week or just about a week. I am really bad at math. I got this pierced on the 25th of November and it is now the 5th of December. Let's talk about my healing piercing. So basically, I've been using Nail Med. If I can find the picture, I'll put it here. If I can't, you'll see a clip of it in a second. Also, I've been using my hypochlorous acid facial mist, just upkeep throughout the day, just because we know we touch our faces throughout the day without even knowing, and our hands might not be all the cleanest, so I also like to spray my hands with it if I know I'm going to be touching my face. I also like to do soaks in the shower, but I make sure I do that opposite in the day to when I do my Nail Med cleansing. So if I'm taking a nice hot shower in the evening, I will do my Nail Med spray in the morning to clean out the inside and outside of my nose. Just because you don't want to overstrip and dry out your piercing hole, but it is important to rinse and irrigate your piercings just because it does help dislodge any debris, any healing crusties, any sebum, any gunk stuck in the holes. And yes, the Nail Med spray will do that as well. I just don't like to overuse saline sprays just because I don't want them to dry out my piercing holes as much. I find the hypochlorous acid much more gentle than Nail Med. You just don't want to overuse it because you don't want to kill any good bacteria as well if you're over cleansing the area. I really only use it for soothing purposes, like if it gets itchy. When you get a nose piercing, it will get dry, just that's part of the healing process, and because it gets so dry, it gets really itchy. So a couple things is to not over cleanse it. Don't keep consistently cleaning your nose piercings because it does help that tight, itchy sensation. And if you're going to use face wash in this area, try to avoid it, but if you will, make sure, like I said, you irrigate, you rinse it under the water for at least a minute. Something I like to do when I first wake up in the morning, or if it's been a long day, I've been out and I need to come home and it feels a little tight and crusty, it's like to cup some, make sure your hands are impeccably clean, by the way. And then make sure it's nice, warm as you can tolerate water, and cup it in your hand and blow slow, gentle bubbles into your hand until you feel like stuff has been dislodged, or if you feel like it's irrigated enough and you can start cleaning it on your own, just because it helps with any crusties or anything that might get into your hole and be painful afterwards. Let's talk about normal and not normal things for a fresh healing nose piercing, and I have two. Some stuff that is normal: itching, like I said, dryness, redness, swelling, especially the first few days. You might get a little bit of blood, a little bit of crusties, a little bit of lymph fluid draining out, and that's completely normal. Don't freak out about that. What's not normal would be if the draining fluid from your new piercing is very thick, viscous, greenish, very thick white. White is okay to an extent, but if it's very clumpy, has a tinge of green to it, if it's consistently bleeding and swollen and red and inflamed, it just looks angry at you, something is not right. It might be the type of jewelry, the metals used, it might be an infection from the actual piercing itself not being clean, your cleaning habits, if you're either overstripping or underwashing it. A lot of things can go wrong. You just want to have a healthy balance with anything in life. Balance is key. Apart from that, everything has been wonderful. Honestly, this piercing has been the easiest to heal. Out of all of my piercings, I would recommend this one. I have not had blood even the first day after getting it pierced. I have not had crusties. I have not had any fluid draining. I have not had any issues apart from it getting dry sometimes and a little tight and itchy sometimes. But other than that, they've been healing wonderfully. When I clean it, I know Q-tips aren't really recommended just because some piercers say that it can get the fiber stuck in and around the hole. However, my piercer said it was fine as long as you do your due diligence, make sure there's not a lot of lint, like lint-free cotton swabs do exist, and make sure you're saturating the cotton swab before you use it so nothing can get stuck around it. And also inspect your piercings every now and again just to make sure nothing is stuck in there. So what I like to do is I like to push my nostril a little bit, and as you can see when I do that, because the bar is so long, it ends up sticking out a little. And then that's when I would take the saturated Q-tip, which I also like to pull a little bit just because it makes it a little more bendable and flexible. And then I'll just swab around it with either the Nail Med or, like I said, sometimes I carry hypochlorous acid with me throughout the day, especially if I'm at work and I work in a very greasy, sweaty environment. So I need to make sure my piercings stay clean. And then I'll just push it back in. Same with the Nail Med, just spray it up your nose and you dab it off and you're good. The water will get where it needs to go. Trust me, you don't need to keep manipulating, touching, pulling, twisting. You shouldn't even be pulling your piercing or touching or twisting it. The more you leave it alone, trust me, the quicker it'll heal. It will heal wonderfully, beautifully. And I washed my hands before the video started, so please don't come at me in the comments. If I'm forgetting anything, also feel free to let me know, because this is just my experience and what I've noticed, and I've been dealing with it every single day. So because I have been doing stuff and keeping it clean every single day, there are some things I'm bound to miss saying right now, just because it's become so routine for me. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I like to try and respond as quickly as possible, to as many as I can for the time being at least. Stay tuned, because I really want to downsize these. You have to wait at least 6 weeks minimum. So when the 6-week mark happens, I will give you an update, and I will also get my nose piercing changed and let you know how that went. I'm aiming to downsize to not the one size below 5/16, it's the one after that. Is it 1/4 of an inch? I don't know, whatever 6 or 6.2 millimeters is. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, that's all for today. And like I said, like, comment, subscribe, share if you can. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a wonderful night, you guys. Take care.